Hi friends, I'm Amy and I'm here with my mom Alice.
Hello.
We're gonna make sauerkraut today. So it's fall, the weather started turning and the cabbage is looking great out in the garden. If you don't have cabbage in your own garden, it's not a problem. Go ahead and go to a roadside stand, a farmer's market, or even the grocery store and get a couple heads of cabbage. A few things that we're gonna start with is obviously we have our cabbage. And then we also have a cabbage cutter, which is the old way of doing it. And you would normally put the cabbage in here and go back and forth over these blades. We now have updated a little bit and cheat. So we use the Mixmaster and we put a shredder on it. What you're trying to do is get that cabbage consistent as far as thickness. You don't want a real thick cabbage slice. You want it kind of thin so that it ferments better, right? So you can also use a knife, but you don't get that consistency as much. We're gonna add in a mixture of salt, sugar, and dill seed. A lot of people will use caraway seed,
yes,
but you grew up making it on dill seed.
Right.
So a great way to keep the tradition of going family to family showing how to do this, we thought we'd make a video so you can enjoy watching us pass down this tradition to my kids. So like any good cook, my mom never used measurements. She always did it from taste, so I'm kind of pressuring her on this a little bit. But we're using a mixture of canning pickling salt, and we're gonna do 5 cups of the salt to 1 cup of the dill seed. And then her mom always used just a little bit of sugar for sweetness. It doesn't make the kraut sweet, but it adds to that fermenting process.
I'm doing this like a bartender.
You're not even doing the full cups.
That's good enough. Close enough. And now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. That's good. Man. Usually you can go out to the garden, but this year I didn't have any dill, so I had to buy some dill seed.
You can see that when she gives me recipes, it's a lot of just like, well, kind of this, kind of that. There's some recipes where she's told me to make a smiley face with ketchup in it. That's real exact. So just mixing that up, it's just a simple sugar, salt, and dill seed, or you could use caraway seed. So as far as chopping the cabbage up, you can see this is a massive, look at the size. This is one from her garden. This is one from one of the farmers markets. Look at that size difference. Isn't that crazy? So we don't have to wash the cabbage because we're gonna actually be peeling all of these top leaves off to get down to more of the center of it where a little bit more tender of the cabbage is. We're gonna chop it into chunks so that we can get it through the shredder. And also we're gonna take out, if you can see, the core in here. That's a really tough, it's kind of like if you think of a broccoli stem, how it gets tougher as it goes down. We don't want that in there, so those larger pieces there, we're just gonna kind of chop that portion out, discard it, and then shred the rest of it. I can't wait until this is done because I love homemade sauerkraut. There is such a difference between the canned sauerkraut and my mom's sauerkraut. I'm using the shredder attachment on the KitchenAid Mixmaster to get that nice, even slice. And you can see it's just kind of falling right into this large toe. Keep continuing this. She's taking the cores out for me, and we're just kind of working as a team to get this done. So we've shredded up a few containers of cabbage, and we're going to go ahead and start loading our crock. We did put a plastic bag underneath the crock because...
Oh, so in case it would overflow, you wouldn't have a mess on the floor. Also, it does have a pungent smell to it, so you want to keep that contained.
We added in some of our mixture that we made before. What kind of flavor are you looking for?
A salty, but not overwhelming.
Because I mean, this is why we're doing this, so that we can know how to do this in the future when maybe one of us isn't here. I know. Take a little taste of it and make sure that that salt flavor is heavy but not overwhelming. Between these 2 totes that we've been mixing here, that is 4 heads of cabbage to 1 cup of the salt mixture is about the ratio that we had there. So now that we have the rest of the cabbage all shredded up, we're going to add it to the crock. But before we do that, some of the outer edges of the cabbage leaves, what she does is she takes those leaves and scalds them, and it makes them more flexible and be able to be smushed together a lot better, whereas this would have more lift and more air in there. And what we're doing is forming a layer in the middle.
This I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on. And this is good.
Check mine out. See if I got the salt taste. I'm getting better at this. So we're punching down again, trying to get all the air bubbles out so that everything's packed in there really well. The tighter the pack, the less spoilage you'll have. Ready?
Oh, it's perfect. And that was about 11 heads of cabbage that we used to fill this big crock.
So we have a lot of the salt mixture left over. So I will put a ratio for you, and I'll kind of break it down for cabbage heads. Of course, that's going to change a little bit if you have really large cabbage heads, like what we showed that she got out of her garden, compared to those smaller heads. That's going to change how much you're going to need.
We're going to take some of the pieces that we didn't grind up, put them on the top, make a layer there, and then we're going to put...
And we don't have to season that.
No.
So we have our thing of scraps of just kind of the outer leaves that we didn't shred up. And she's putting a layer in there. And you kind of want chunkier stuff so that you know the difference between what is your top portion and what is your actual shredded good portion that you want to keep. Look at how, just that short time of kind of getting stuff prepped here, look at how much moisture that salt has pulled out of the cabbage already. There's just, I mean, you could start ladling out of there. And that's why we're going to go ahead and put that heavier plate right on top. I guess I can do it this way. Just to kind of hold that cabbage down, because it's going to naturally want to float to the top. So we're keeping it tucked down. Now what we're doing here is putting a bag, and
Double bag.
you're double bagging, and tell them why you do a double bag.
I'm double bagging because my mother-in-law one time only used one bag, and it broke through and went into her sauerkraut. So
Which ruined the sauerkraut.
ruined the sauerkraut. So
we're double bagging it, and we're putting water in that bag. And that's causing a natural seal of sealing that bag against the sides, because it's all pushing out, which is going to cause more pressure to keep that plate weighed down. It's also going to make a little bit of a seal for that fermenting process, but we also have that bag underneath just in case anything would overflow, and also to contain some of the smells, because it is fermenting cabbage. And you want to keep this in a household temperature. You don't want it to be out in the garage if you're in a cooler area, because that cool weather will slow down the fermenting process. We're going to seal this up, and it's going to sit here and just hang out for 4 weeks.
And I do leave this in my husband's office because I figured if it does smell, it won't bother me then.
I got it.
Yeah, no, but I don't know what to do. Oh, here's this.
And then at 4 weeks, we're going to make sure that it tastes good. We're looking for kind of a snappy, almost a zesty taste, wouldn't you say? Like a
Nice
good,
and crisp.
nice crisp sauerkraut taste. At that point, we will take off those extra leaves, discard them, and start packaging the sauerkraut for different meals, for different sizes. And we'll show that once that process comes. But that's how we do sauerkraut. It takes us about a half a day. And now it's time to clean up, which I mean, that'll add some more time. But it is shredded cabbage, a mixture of canning pickling salt, dill seed, and sugar. You can see that the mixture that we had, we have quite a bit left. So again, I'll give you that ratio. That way, if you're making a smaller amount, you can have a ratio of how much to use. Mixing that up, packing it into a crock, and then layering that up and sealing it up with a weight. Not overly complicated. It makes the best sauerkraut. By far, everybody loves your sauerkraut.
Yes.
So again, you can use either dill seed or caraway seed, depending on what flavors you like. We grew up on dill seed, so that's what we use. I hope you enjoyed this, and go ahead and try it out, or maybe give her a poke and see if we'll have a meal together. Have a great day.
Bye now.